Greetings, friends, and welcome to Shouting at the Dragon Heist. My name is Matt German, and I'll be your dungeon master for this campaign. Playing with me are Penny German as Kara Stonesmith, a dwarf fighter with an alcoholic problem and a shameful secret. Jordan Dietz as Elara, an ASMR cleric with a less-than-ideal childhood and a chip on her shoulder. Chris Sturdy as Ekizi, a Minotaur druid with a dark and tragic past and a childlike, naive mind. And Peyton Conger as Azerath, a dragonborn paladin without a home to return to and a holy quest driving him forward. I will be running these hapless adventurers through the Waterdeep Dragon Heist from Wizards of the Coast. For those unfamiliar, the premise of this adventure is that a vault with 500,000 gold coins are hidden somewhere in Waterdeep, and several factions are on a race to locate it and liberate the gold from within for their own nefarious purposes, and of course, our adventurers get swept up in the middle of it all. At the time of the recording of this intro, we've already run about a dozen sessions of this campaign, and I decided that it was going well enough that I should finally edit and upload the recordings. Now, bear with us on this. We're all amateur podcasters. Is it too early to even call us that? And I have a less than ideal recording environment and equipment in my basement. As such, the audio quality will vary and background noise is unavoidable, particularly with my 2-year-old daughter. I've tried to cut out as much of the noise as possible, but there are times where I was unable to, with her just talking and making noises here and there, trying to get our attention, being a 2-year-old. Now that we're 12 episodes in, I'd love to say that these issues are getting resolved, but unfortunately that really isn't the case. Some episodes are better than others, but it will be a reoccurring theme, and for that I apologize. That being said, if it's a deal breaker for you, I completely understand. It can be kind of annoying, especially if you're using headphones or whatever. I was pretty reluctant to actually upload these due to this fact, but I feel that the game has been going well enough to try and overcome these challenges. We've been having an absolute blast with it, and it's been easily one of the better RPGs that I've personally run and even been a part of, if I could be so bold. So I really hope that you listen to it, and I hope you do agree. Before we get started, I wanted to share a little bit of our RPG experience. Peyton and Jordan are both relatively new and haven't done much in the way of tabletop RPGs in the past. From what I understand, Peyton had a little bit with some friends, kind of dabbled here and there, but I know that he hasn't really done much with 5th edition, and definitely not with D&D Beyond. I cut out most of rule checks and teaching them how to use that, so I don't think you're probably going to come across that. But he's also kind of shy. He's kind of new to the group and largely unfamiliar with half of us, so he tends to be pretty quiet, but he's working his way out of that. Jordan is Penny's best friend, and she really just recently started role-playing for the first time. She's doing pretty good. She's really enjoying it, and she's also kind of working out of her shell in this, so that's pretty exciting. So those two are the greenest. In contrast, Chris, Penny, and I have been role-playing together for over a decade, so hopefully that'll make a fair balance. The three of us tend to be a lot more boisterous, a little bit more bold, and have a lot more flair in our characters that we're not afraid to just kind of demonstrate. And I think that the other two play off of that pretty good. So, again, I hope you listen and you can be the judge. That kind of about covers it. Again, if you do stick around, I really hope you enjoy it. Please let me know what you think by leaving a comment wherever you were hearing this, or hit me up on Twitter. I'm at @TheBestDisguise. I really look forward to hearing from you. I'd really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you very much. I'd like to start off first. I want to go around the table, have everybody introduce yourselves, your characters, basically describe yourself so that we can we're all on the same page. Chris, we'll start with you.
Oh man, okay. Ekizi is a 7.5 foot tall Minotaur. She has brown eyes, brown fur, and long blonde brown hair. She's fairly young for a Minotaur. Her horns, instead of being like usual cow horns, kind of go out and up. One of them is broken halfway off. right about there above her head. She's not as bulky as usual minotaurs. She's certainly built and strong, but she's a lot ganglier looking. Her hands look oversized on her body. Same way with her hooves, they're a lot bigger than. She almost looks like an awkward teenager, but she's an adult and 7.5 foot tall. She's wearing like forest green robes that look like they've seen some wear and tear. A little bit of leather armor under that just for general protection. She carries a quarterstaff that looks more like a tree branch than an actual staff. And then a wooden shield that looks like it was a piece of bark that she hacked off of a tree and strapped to her.
Okay. And what do they know? You're being the newest member of the group. What do they know about her as a person?
Okay.
And backstory and
Yeah.
stuff.
Even though, like, mechanically her class is druid, she considers herself more of a shaman or a spirit talker than anything else. When she's distracted or when she's confused about what to do, you can often see her conversing with spirits that you can't see or hear. She looks kind of crazy at that, but you either have to accept it or just ignore her. She wasn't raised by minotaurs. She was raised by a family of traveling tinkerers, and then at one point they were all wiped out in a single evening, and she was the only survivor. That's how her horn got broken. She doesn't speak a whole lot about that night, but she's very paranoid about being out in the wilderness alone now.
Alright, Pen?
You guys met Kara Stonesmith. I'm assuming we still were okay with that. Like, on the battlefield, we're all just sort of fighting for our lives, and we all just sort of band together to protect each other and ourselves. And during that time, you guys got to know her. She's a dwarf. She's got long brown hair that's braided, and it's not just like one big braid. Usually there's like a bunch of other braids, and there's little metal clasps that hold the braids in, and each of them have like dwarven, script and things on them. She's a fighter, a soldier, and she can be kind of rough around the edges at times. I think it's mainly because she's seen, from what you guys can tell, she's just seen so much and been in this for so long that she'd rather just say what she wants to say than be nice about it, because, if she was too careful about what she was saying and she didn't say how she really felt, she was like, well, there's just one more thing that I haven't said, and then she could be dead the next time. So she's just very kind of rough around the edges. She wields a battle axe, and yeah, from what you guys know, she was wanting to be a blacksmith, but because of all the war that was breaking out, in her home and among dwarves, that she really didn't have a huge opportunity to completely dedicate herself to that, and she found that she was actually really good at this whole killing thing, and
it gets easier.
Yeah, being in charge of other soldiers and other lives, that's kind of just what she's stuck with for a while, and now she's maybe mellowed out a little bit, but not a whole lot. I think it's more of a thing where she's just getting tired, but she's still just like rough around the edges. I'm not too sure what else to say about her right now, but she's not very tall. She's like almost 5 feet tall, almost, not quite. Very stocky.
All
drinks.
Right. So has she had Cathra by this point?
No.
Okay.
No, she's still pretty young. This was
She's not even married yet.
No, right? No, she's just still really young. She's older than Cathra when Cathra set out.
Well,
but
Cathra's a baby.
Yeah, Cathra's a youngin' who ran away, but yeah.
Okay.
Kara's more seasoned, more world wizened.
She was molded.
Yeah.
All right, Jordan.
My character's name is Elara. She's an Azamar. She looks more human than anything. She has pure white hair, gray eyes, but she doesn't have the piercing look as an Azamar. She has the softer features. Like Chris's character, she was abandoned as a baby and found by her adopted father, who brought her back to his village and was raised there. And she was teased as a child just because she looked so much different than everybody in the village. And being an Azamar, she learned everything so much faster than the other children too, so she got teased for being kind of like a know-it-all. So one day she comes home and she has a black eye because the children were beating her up, and her father, who was a soldier in a different war, decided to teach her what he knew against her mother's wishes. So she started learning how to fight because of her adopted father. And she took all of that in and became a barmaid when she got older, because she didn't think there was anything really for her to do. So she became a barmaid, and she used the fighting skills that her dad taught her. Every time like a new traveler would come in and kind of like grope her or something, she would take care of it. And she caught the eye of a dwarf who was part of the battle that we were all in. And he said, why don't you take these skills and come join us and fight with us? And so she decided, because her deity came to her one night, her deity is Saloon. Her deity came to her and was like, come on, do this, kind of thing. And so she was like, okay, why not? I have all these skills, why not put them to use? And that's why she started the battle. And I figured out with her deity, when it comes to like a full moon and stuff, that's when she's at her most active. So she's really like, especially if there was like a battle going on a full moon, that's when she was at her most like, let's do this kind of thing. But that's basically what I have for her kind of right now.
So were you guys like part of a mercenary company, or did you fight for a lord, or?
Well, it was basically, she was just like a lieutenant, and she was in charge of like probably a few squads, and she was set up to do to guard this area in this forest, which is very close to where you were at. Well, that was when a huge army of orcs and goblins, they kind of figured this was going to happen, so they had asked allies around the area, like other lords, not just dwarven lords, humans, etc., and the elves. It was like, hey, we need to protect this territory or else we're going to get overrun. So that's kind of what happened is they went around and got people and militia, mercenaries, actual other armies to come in and help. And so it just came to a head where it was just all these armies facing all these, good and evil and armies and whatnot. And that's just kind of how everyone clashed. And yeah, it was like those crossroad moments in a lot of like the fantasy books where it's like, okay, you got these guys from the east and these guys from the west kind of situation. And
all right, and Peyton.
So Azerath is the Dragonborn of the Bronze scaling. So basically his description is he has bronze scales, black outline, his eyes are deep gray. He's about 6'5" in height, about 30 years old at this point in time. He is a paladin holy warrior. Basically, he is followed by a darkness in his past, which he doesn't like to discuss. But his deity he fights for is Lendis, which is the Dragonborn deity of justice and judgment in a Dragonborn's life. And so basically, she came to him after this tragedy and led him onto the path of being a holy warrior. He's very timid, quiet, but also very caring at the same time. He doesn't speak much, but he is bound basically by his deity at this point in his life to serve for her. And basically how he ends up meeting all of these two is his deity came to him and told him of this great battle that's going to happen, and that he needed to be there in order to serve justice, as he's done for Lendys throughout his period on Earth. But
So very much on a holy crusade.
yeah, he's basically on a holy crusade for what had happened to him when he was younger.
Alrighty. And I don't think it was ever determined how long you guys had been in, or why you were in Waterdeep, other than you were just kind of there after this battle and picking up Ekizi. So I'm just going to take the liberty and say, you guys haven't been in Waterdeep for very long. You've made your way to the Yawning Portal Inn because you'd heard it. I mean, it's the most famous inn and tavern in Waterdeep, and you've all heard about it. And that's kind of where you gravitated to. So we'll say that you guys have rented out rooms there. I'm not gonna. We'll say it's already paid for
Right.
pre-game funds. But that's where we're gonna start. So you all sit around a sturdy wooden table lit by a brightly burning candle, and littered with plates cleared of food and half-drained tankards. The sounds of gamblers yelling and drunken adventurers singing body songs nearly drown out the off-key strumming of a young bard 3 tables over. Then all of the noise is eclipsed by a shout. "Ya pig! Like killing me mates, do ya?"
Uh-oh.
Then a 7-foot-tall half-orc is hit by a wild swinging punch from a male human, whose shaved head is covered with eye-shaped tattoos.
Oh.
4 other humans stand behind him, ready to jump into the fray. The half-orc cracks her knuckles, roars, and leaps at the tattooed figure. But before you can see if blood is drawn, a crowd of spectators clusters around the brawl. What do you do?
Okay, do I recognize the tattoos at all?
Make an insight check.
That is going to be 21. Have I seen them on any other...
You've seen them. You've seen them about here and there. They don't necessarily mean anything of significance, but you do know that these guys are probably part of.
I've seen eye tattoos around.
You've seen eye tattoos around, and it's you do think you get the idea. Like, it reminds you of a beholder, very much of a beholder.
Cool.
More importantly, however, the half orc who got punched is Yagra.
Oh no!
And now she's locked in fisticuffs with this group of guys. So
with a whole bunch of people?
well, you can't really see too well, but you hear a lot of commotion.
Okay. Oh no, my friend. Okay, what I am going to do, Matt, is seeing at least my acquaintance, if not a friend, get attacked. I'm going to reach into my component pack. I'm going to pull out a little leather envelope, or like little leather pouch. I look inside of it, and there is a little flea bouncing around inside of it. I whisper to the flea, and I point at the dude with the tattoos.
You can no longer see him at this
Oh.
point. Yeah, no, the crowd encircled around them, and you can no longer see it. You can just hear the combatants going at
Okay.
it, so.
I'm going to point at whoever's the biggest threat to Yagra.
Okay, well, alright, well, we'll just say that. Go ahead. Continue.
And I'm going to cast Infestation on that person.
Okay, everybody roll initiative then.
Oh no!
Oh God.
I made a boo-boo!
I was just trying to drink. Matt, I switched to
Azerath, what'd you get?
like a mug in each hand.
Ekizi, what'd you get?
I got 4.
Elara?
17.
And Kara.
4.
It's like the Charlie Brown special. I got a rock.
Yeah.
I got a wrong.
Okay, then Kara and Ekizi, who has higher dexterity?
We have the same dexterity.
Alright,
As is, we are
both
in
of you
those-
roll a d20 then.
Who's taller?
Because you have a plus
Me.
2 and it's a 14, yeah. I rolled a 10.
I rolled an 8.
Oh, I was hoping it was a 10.
Yeah. But I got like 5 feet on her, so that should
Yeah.
count for something.
Alright,
Longer
so
stride.
Yeah.
I just hop when I run. That's why.
alright, Ekizi, you get a bonus action, so you're casting Infestation.
Yeah.
So what does Infestation do exactly?
All right. You cause a cloud of mites, fleas, and other parasites to appear momentarily on one creature you can see within range. They gotta make a Constitution saving throw, or take 1d6 poison damage, and move 5 feet in a random direction.
Okay.
I'm trying to get them away from Yagra.
Well, like I said, at this point you really can't see them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say instead of him, you said the biggest threat.
Yeah.
From your vantage point, you do see 4 other thugs about ready to jump into the fray.
Okay.
And you choose one of them at the one you deem most threatening, and cast that upon him, and he needs to make a DC what again?
DC 13 Constitution.
Okay. And then so read it. All right. Roll your poison. Roll your damage then.
5 poison damage. Do you want me to roll the d4 or?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. And I can tell you which direction he's going to move. He is moving 5 feet west.
Bludgeoning.
So you guys all see Ekizi pull out this little envelope. This fight is going on, and almost taking her time prep this spell, and suddenly one of these bandits, you guys kind of look over the crowd, and you see these 4 guys about ready to jump in to where you know that Yagra and this other bandit are fighting. And suddenly one of these guys starts going, and he jumps. And then he kind of leaps back away from the fight. And he's screaming and freaking out and panicking. He's like, get him off me, get him off me. So then we start. Elara gets to go first.
Okay. She starts walking towards the crowd, kind of like, come on, guys, break it up.
Okay, you're gonna push through. All right, you kind of push through the crowd, and when you get up there, you see that these the 3 remaining thugs, they're still ready to jump in, but you can see that Yagra is on top of the guy who had initially punched her, and she is just going to town on him, like beating the shit out of him. But the other 3 are about ready to jump on her.
Okay.
They are all ignoring you. Everybody, like, you're like the one voice, break it up. Everybody else is going, yeah! So, is that are you going to do anything else in your turn? I'm going to say that was your movement.
Yeah, that's fine for now.
Okay.
She'll figure it out later.
Alright. So Yagra is going to then continue wailing on this guy.
Good.
Is he dead now?
Did we just watch a murder?
Yeah, I just see his jawbone go flying across the room. I need more.
You see him her clubbing him upside the head, and he's kind of like trying to stop her, but you see her get one good hit in, and he just goes out cold.
Man, it's not gonna get around to my turn.
So how long does the infestation last?
Duration is instantaneous. So he's attacked by fleas, goes jumps, and then there's no more fleas.
Okay. So you see that guy kind of like patting himself still and kind of calming down, but then he looks up and sees that his leader essentially has been knocked unconscious, and he is going to pull out. No, he's not going to do that. He's gonna, like, good lord, but he is going to just like pounce on Yagra. He pounces, like, he tries to pounce on her, but she clearly sees him coming and just kind of shoulders him all off of her.
Nice.
Then the other three untouched bandits are all going to do the same. They're all going to try to get a piece of her. And 2 of them get on top of her and start pummeling her.
Oh, gosh.
One of them is, she kind of shoulders the first guy off. The other guy kind of tries to get in there, but he can't quite get a good angle. But the other 2 are on the other side of her. And they leap down on top of her and start beating on her. Azerath.
So he's basically running in, trying to get a better view of the situation.
All right, yeah, you kind of shoulder your way in, and then you can see what move up to Elara and kind of see what's going on. You see these 2 bandits, basically one hand each on Yagra, and they're hitting her. The other 2 are getting to their feet, but she's very much on top of a very unconscious guy, the one who initially had punched her. So she seems to be holding her own, but I mean, help definitely wouldn't be unwelcome.
Can I go and try and stop the dudes from jumping over?
Yeah, you can try to pull one of them off of her. Yeah. So go ahead and make a strength check.
Strength check.
No,
23.
don't color on that one.
23. Okay, yeah, you kind of grab this guy by his leather armor and just pull him off of her.
Nice.
He kind of spins around and sees you doing that, and he's probably gonna
Not
hit you
mine.
next. But
This one.
for the time being, he's definitely off of her. Kara.
So I can't see what's going on. So she.
Well, you can you see
Finishes-
these two. You can see Elara standing there and watching, but you definitely saw Azerath rush over and is now like hauling a guy up.
Okay. So she finishes her drink. She's gonna get up on the bar, run across, and jump into the group of them. And she's like, ah!
You're not at a bar. You're at a table. You're at a table.
I jump on
If
the
you-
table.
Okay. I want you to make an athletics check.
Okay.
You're the dwarfiest dwarf who ever dwarfed.
21. Everyone
So-
just dominoes.
Yeah, you hop up on this table. Ekizi, you have to kind of like steady your drink.
Yeah.
And she does this. She leaps off of it onto another one, and then just kind of jumps and
Laughing maniacally. Ah!
so when you get on, like, right as you're jumping off of that last table into the fray, you can see the scene below you, and you'll have to make a split-second decision. But you see Yagra sitting there on top of an unconscious guy with another one beating at her, two other guys sitting next to her, and then, of course, Azerath holding this guy up. Where are you aiming? Are you going for the center? Or?
However high I can jump, I guess. I figured I wasn't going to make it too high, so I was probably going to hit the barrier of people.
Okay,
and
well,
everything was just
you sprung up pretty good.
Wow, I'm pretty springy.
I'm gonna say that you were you aiming at the guy on Yagra, or are you aiming?
Oh
off
no, I had no aim. I was just going.
She's like,
Okay. Then what I'm
it
gonna
was
do?
just like bar fight, wee.
I'm gonna roll a d4. One, you're gonna land on Azerath. Two, you're gonna land on Yagra and the thug. Three, you're gonna land on the other two thugs, and four, you're gonna miss completely.
Oh no.
4, you missed completely.
It's like
Can
it's
we
like
get the
that.
crowd then?
It's like that when like a musician goes to go crowd surfing and the crowd just parts.
Exactly.
Ow!
You weren't subtle about what you were doing. When you leap
no,
up,
that's
you
true.
see these people go, "Ah," move off into the side, and you hit the ground. Take 1 point of bashing damage. You knock the wind out of yourself.
Aw, beads.
Ekizi.
Okay. I am going to run over to Kara.
No, color on that.
I'm
page.
going to assist her to her feet. It's quite a bend down for me.
All right, yeah.
And
when
then
you-
while I'm helping her up, I'm going to cast guidance on her.
Okay.
Oh sure, now you help me.
Whatever.
oh, I go home, you're drunk.
Yeah, she's pretty jealous.
By the way, Kara, go ahead and take a point of inspiration. That was really
Oh,
fun.
okay.
Come on, Kara, to your feet.
One more time.
All right, and so guidance does again for the whole class.
Once before the spell ends, duration is a minute. She can roll a d4 and add that to a any ability check.
Okay, cool.
It's a
So,
very
yeah,
good spell.
So Kara kind of made a commotion and cleared a path, so to speak, even though she was leaping from table to table. People were clearing out of her way, and then when you got up to get
Yeah.
over there, you had no issue getting up to her. So,
I know.
Everyone move.
God, you're not going to do that the entire time, are you?
Please do.
Watch him.
Oh, man. All right. Well, you do that. You help Kara with some helpful words of guidance. Elara, your turn again.
So, is Yarga still beating up the dude?
No, she's no longer punching the guy who's unconscious.
Okay.
But she looks like she's a little bit more preoccupied by the guys that are punching her. But this is
Okay.
happening so fast, she really hasn't had time to react since they got on top of her.
Okay, so then
But she does look like she's about ready to deal with the situation at hand.
I start hitting start punching one of the guys that's punching her.
There's only one guy punching her still,
Okay.
so that's fine though. Go ahead and make a strength check.
Okay.
Or make an unarmed attack roll, which is a d20 plus your strength. I don't think you add your proficiency bonus to an unarmed attack, correct?
5.
All right, you run over and you start punching at this guy, but like you're very clearly hitting his armor because the only way you can get to him is his back.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's not doing anything, but it feels like you're helping.
I'm
So-
trying.
Yagra, on the other hand, is going to turn around and deck him
Nice.
in his face. Oh boy, is she!
Oh, actually, you do for unarmed strike.
Oh, all right.
You
Then.
do add your proficiency.
And unarmed damage is 1d4, right? Or is it?
Unarmed damage is 1 plus your strength modifier.
Oh, so not even. Okay,
No.
good to
Well,
know.
it should have it under her unarmed strike.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
just click on
Mine,
unarmed strike.
mine just does 5 damage.
Yeah, that will 1 plus your strength modifier.
I've just been
probably.
winging
Oh, yeah,
it.
yeah.
So-
Same as mine.
Nice. We're gonna hit things.
We're beefy people.
Yeah.
We are beefy
So
people.
it would be.
My target's moved this time.
It would.
All right, so yeah, you see Yagra just kind of shouldered this guy off of her. She kind of like hits him, and you actually stumble back a little bit as he kind of falls back, and she clocks him in the head. One of the thugs is going to drag the bald guy to his drag him away from her. The one that is being grappled by Azerath is going to attempt to punch you. You're wearing plate armor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He punches you in the chest, and then just kind of stops and comedically almost. Ah!
He didn't look what you were wearing.
Yeah.
He just
he
didn't.
forgot
He
you
didn't
put
pay
equipment
attention.
on.
Yeah,
He's
it was,
drunk and rage.
it was more like he just turned around and hit. Yeah, he did not expect that. And then the one that just got decked is going to try to punch Yagra and fail. And then finally, one of the other guys is going to jump in and try to get on Yagra as well. No, I take that back. He's going to go after Elara.
Uh-oh.
He saw you punch his friend. even
You're
though you
obviously
didn't
the
do
biggest
anything.
threat,
He's
says
going to
the
go
8 foot
after
tall
you.
Minotaur. Hey, Ben, you can add that
Does a
D4
12 hit you?
before or after.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I wasn't sure.
What's your AC?
Captain has that,
it
and I was like,
is-
is that the same
my
one that
AC
does that?
would
'Cause she has
be,
both of them. She has
18.
the guidance.
Then
and
it does
the
not
other
hit
one
you.
that does
It doesn't hit me?
something
Okay.
similar,
No,
but I think it's
12.
skills.
He has to beat your AC.
Oh, my AC. Okay.
Yeah, so.
I thought we were talking about my hit points. I'm like,
18
I'm
though?
dead.
They have similar.
Okay, yeah, he runs over and tries to punch you, but he kind of clocks off your armor as well.
Oh, okay.
Azerath.
So basically, looking pitifully into the dude's eyes that just tried to punch me in the chest, I am going to punch him.
Alright.
Oh,
Make
that's
a strength attack check.
I thought that was on
design.
purpose.
No,
17.
it's somewhere in the
Okay,
house.
you punch the hell out of him.
Did you
So
wanna put
what's
any
yours?
pepper on her? So
Your
no,
strength
it's fine.
modifier is 4, so
Don't
you do
pee
5
on me,
damage
yeah.
to him. Yeah, so Azerath basically reared back and smacked this guy right in the forehead just after he practically broke his hand on his armor. So, Kara, you are now on your feet.
Alright.
You've got one thug is fighting Yagra, one thug is fighting Elara, one is fighting Azerath, and one is pulling the original guy out of the fray.
I'm going to jump on the one, run and punch, I should say.
I was gonna say, get up on a table and jump again.
Yeah.
You don't succeed. Try again.
It's her signature move. We have to carry a table.
Yeah.
Like, men, my table.
I'll just bend down like this.
Yeah. I'll give you a boost.
Yeah.
Wrong way.
Oh, that's how
clip.
Matt's gonna roll every time for
He's
your.
like, I know.
Oh.
Or she's like, I know. I'm gonna go over to the one that's hitting Elara and upper deck his toilet. No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go punch him.
She's unclogged this thing.
Yeah. It's like, you got a
You've
problem.
been listening to too much Nat.
Yeah. It happened.
All right.
Did you perhaps mean uppercut?
Yeah, I was gonna say uppercut, and then I was like, upper deck.
All right. So
Upper
you're
deck
going
on
after
clog is
which?
fine.
You're going after which of the guys?
The one attacking Elara.
Okay.
She needs that face for talking to things.
Did you walk into this place drunk?
Yes.
We haven't been here that long.
Yeah, you know how they have the carts. She saw the fry everything guy and was like, "Hey."
Well, you guys have been here long enough to make friends with a few of the proprietors or a few of the people here. So
She just started.
She's a regular in all of the bars.
yeah, I guess in the sense of the setting that I set up, it was more like you guys each had a long conversation, or a friendly conversation with each of your chosen peoples. So, and they all seemed nice.
Start singing your
And now they're being punched. What the hey?
Yeah, one of them is.
I killed him. Nat 20, so he
All
takes
right.
5 bludgeoning damage. Or is that doubled?
I don't know how
How
it
does
is
that
with.
Well, the damage dice is technically the 1.
Yeah, so it'll do 6 damage.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Unless you're a monk, and then it's different.
Yeah. So then, you run up and smack him. Like you said, you were uppercutting him.
Yeah.
You do that. You
How'd you
hit him,
hit
and you hear his jaw snap shut.
Oh.
Like you could hear the teeth hit snapping on each other. And, like you get the distinct impression that had his tongue been hanging out in any way, you would have been sprayed with blood.
Delicious.
Ekizi.
Wow. Okay. So who is still up at the moment?
Pretty much everybody except for the bald guy with the eye tattoos. He's still very unconscious, but he's being pulled away by one of the guys.
By his friends. So
by one of his friends who
he's
has
out of
been
this.
who as of yet is not.
Who's had the good sense to stay out of this nonsense?
Well, he was the one who had the bugs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's bug friend.
But you've got one guy who is attempting to attack. Who's being punched by Yagra.
Okay.
One guy who is being punched by Azerath.
All right.
And then one guy who just got uppercutted by, is being punched by.
And that guy's still standing?
Yes, yeah, all three
Okay.
of them are standing. So.
Okay. Well, the guy that Kara just uppercutted, I am going to, spin him around and then ask him to stop. And when that doesn't work, I'm going to headbutt him.
Okay, roll a persuasion check
Oh, that's going to go
at
hilarious.
disadvantage.
All right, that's even better.
What did you do with my pen?
Of course, I got a huge roll on the first one. I got an even better roll on the second one.
So what'd you
17.
17. Okay. Okay, so you spin him around and you look at him in the eye, and you're just gonna calmly tell him to stop.
Please stop. We don't want to hurt you.
I do.
You spin him around, and he kind of looks dazed. And then he kind of
Yeah.
you can see him blink a bit when he's looking into your face.
He looks up and then further up.
Yeah, and kind of blinks, and you do that, and he just kind of
Leave him in there.
Okay. I'm gonna
Roll him.
pat him out of the group and send him on his way.
Yeah, he just kind of wanders away.
Yep.
Elara, the guy who had tried to attack you and the one that you punched, just walked away in shame. But you do still have Yagra, who is punching a guy, and Azerath, who just hit this guy, and then of course the aforementioned unconscious and pre-bugged guy.
I think what she's gonna do is just go sit down for a minute.
Go back to the table.
You know what? She hasn't really had as much to drink. I think she just wants to catch up.
Yeah, your tankard is still. Oh, actually, no. I take that back. You're gonna go do that, and you look, and you can see that your tankard has been knocked down and is spilled all over the table.
No.
What the fuck?
Who did this? My bad.
So she goes back up to the bar and just
Okay.
orders more.
Some inconsiderate jackass just knocked my drink over.
She's like, I keep trying to help, nothing's working, I might as well drink.
Oh,
Alright, Yagra tries to punch the thug again, but does not succeed, and then does. So she spins around and tries to tackle the guy that you had originally tried to punch, and doesn't quite wrestle him to the ground, but then she kind of kidney punches him.
The best.
The guy who drug his friend out is going to rejoin the battle.
Uh-oh.
Yagra seems to be the biggest threat, so he's going to try to punch her. You guys see this guy run over and deck her in the back of the head.
Oh.
She just kind of stops
and then turns around slowly at him.
Uh-oh.
The guy
I'll
that she
fight
was
her.
previously, that she kidney punched, he kind of like shuffles away and disappears into the crowd. Azerath, this guy is now going to attempt to punch you in the face.
That's better than punching him in the armor.
What is your AC?
It's 20.
Wow!
Christ. He is a paladin wearing plate mail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're beefy people.
Yeah, he swings at you in the like tries to punch your face, and like you don't even move. He just whoosh right in front of you. And now it's your turn.
So after attempted being punched in the face, Azerath just grabs this dude and tries to throw him out of a window.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you. We're gonna have to have you grapple him. So make a strength check.
21.
You grab him, and now roll an athletics check to toss him out a window.
Lay
So
out.
16.
Okay, yeah, you throw him through the window.
Yeah!
Oh man, that's gonna go on our tab.
Yeah, it is. Kara, your turn. There's only one thug left, and he's currently pissing himself because he's getting the full brute like stare down from Yagra.
Gonna run over and punch him in the gut. I probably, hopefully look. Yeah! Net 20!
And
So,
it's dead.
That's another 6 damage.
Yep.
You run over and you sink your fist into his stomach, and he just kind of buckles over you, and then just kind of rolls off your fist and onto the ground unconscious. As the fight kind of winds down from that, like another couple of guys just kind of pull the
I was like,
unconscious
ready.
friend. But Yagra kind of turns to you and thanks for the help, but I had that.
Yeah, you did.
It never hurts to have someone in your corner.
Wise words. At that point, you all hear shouts of alarm ringing out. Who is... I know Chris is familiar with the layout of the Yawning Portal Inn. Is anybody else? So, the Yawning Portal Inn, a little bit of backstory here. One of the biggest things about it is that there's a giant well in the middle of the room that leads down into the dungeon under the city. It's just a huge open well. You guys all know that Durnan, the proprietor of the inn, he charges fees for adventurers to be lowered down into the dungeon and go at their own risk.
It's a spectator sport.
Yes. You also know that there are no barriers, physical or magical, separating what's down there from what's in here. This all rings to your head as a hulking creature climbs out of the shaft in the middle of the tap room. A monster with watery green skin. Warty green skin. I can't read.
Oh. I was
A monster with warty green skin,
Well,
a tangled nest of wiry black hair, a long carrot-shaped nose, and bloodshot eyes. As it bares its yellow teeth and howls, you can see that a half-dozen bat-like creatures are attached to its body, with 3 more circling above it like flies.
Ew.
Everyone in the tavern reacts in fear, except for the barkeep, Durnan, who shouts, "Troll!"
Now all I see is the troll hunter guy now. That's all Durnan looks like to me now.
We're going to continue acting on the same initiative order.
Ah, beans.
The troll gets to act first.
Oh, of course
That
it does.
troll rolled really freaking well.
That's gonna harm us.
I hate that troll already.
Alright,
Play
so
rougher.
you guys see that Yagra was actually the closest one to the well. The troll rises up to its full 9 feet.
Oh no, it's
Tall.
bigger than me!
And it rushes over to Yagra, claw, and then bites all 3 hitting true, and she crumples. Moments later, you can see that she's still awake, but yeah, no, she went down, and she went down hard.
Wow.
Elara.
No!
So you've got the troll that just hit her, and these 3 bat-like creatures flying above it that look like they're about ready to start swooping down and attacking people.
Oh, fuck.
You hear Durnan actually from the bar yell, "Focus on the Sturges! I'll take care of the troll!"
Okay, so I listen, and I attack one of the bats. Is that...
Those are
Okay.
Sturges.
Yep.
Okay. Making sure I was right.
Yep.
You never know.
How are you attacking it?
With my mace.
Okay.
5.
Okay,
Brownie.
yeah, you start swinging up at it, trying to get it, but you can't quite get high enough. It's just out of your reach. So you see Durnan, who is now climbed over. He's climbing over his bar and is wielding a massive greatsword.
Nice.
He runs over and starts attacking the troll. He moves a lot faster than he should wielding this thing. One of the strikes doesn't hit, but the other two do, and you see blood, like green globs of blood spray. He slashes into this thing hard and striking true 3 times in a row.
Nice.
The troll looks really messed up. Yagra climbs to her feet and backs away. You can see her like rush back to her table, where she was seated before the brawl broke out, and pulls out a heavy crossbow. She then takes aim at one of the Sturges, and unfortunately misses. You see one of the bolts from the crossbow fire out and narrowly miss one of these Sturges, embedding itself in the wall. Azerath.
I pull out my sword and attempt to attack one of the Sturges.
Alrighty.
19.
That is a hit. So 7.
11.
You saw Elara try to hit this thing, and clearly it was out of her reach, so you just kind of like nimbly hop up to it onto a chair and slash and completely cut one of these things in half.
Japers.
Unfortunately, that makes you the third tallest thing in the room, but the closest thing. So these things are... I don't know how tall you are. But it is... the 2 remaining Sturges are going to dive bomb and attack you. One of them just kind of bounces off your armor, but the other one, like, you can feel it sink its long, unnerving mouth into your arm, almost like a giant mosquito latching onto your arm.
Gross.
Take 5 piercing damage. Kara.
I'm gonna jump up on the table.
Of course you are.
Of course. It's my signature move. Yeah. I'm gonna jump up on the table with Azerath, and seeing as they're all sort of around him.
Well, one of them is latched onto him.
Okay.
It did not let go.
You're right here.
Can I hit that one with my battle axe? Okay.
Oh yeah.
19?
I guess these things are pretty small, but it's like a giant. It's like a big mosquito.
Oh, okay. I figured they were like
Yeah, I
dog
thought they were.
size
I
or
thought they were
something.
bigger too, but they're tiny.
Okay.
So
19.
okay, that is very much a hit.
Okay. 9 slashing.
All right, yeah, you cut this thing in half off of off of Azerath. Unfortunately, its mouth is still stuck to your hand,
So
to
it's
your
just
arm.
draining your blood.
Yeah,
back
well,
of it.
not draining his blood, but there is a lot of blood. So Ekizi,
All
you
right.
got one more Sturge in the air and a very wounded-looking troll fighting Durnan, and yeah, that's it.
Okay. So the one Sturge is in the air, right?
Yes.
Can I reach it?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I mean, it's buzzing around, but yeah, you could probably reach it.
Okay. I am going to rush up to it and give it a crack upside the head with my quarters, or with my branch,
All right.
my quarter branch.
Roll your attack.
18.
That is a hit.
Ooh, 10 damage.
Right here?
Okay, so very much like an unruly child swinging a baseball bat at a bat, you smack this thing and it kind of like flies against the wall with a sickening plop and then falls to the ground. Very dead. Alright, so you see the troll's wounds already starting to repair themselves and heal.
As they do.
And it starts swinging at Durnan. It swings twice at him and hits him both times. But Durnan does not seem to be fazed by this all that much. But you do hear him, he shouts, "Get some oil! Douse it and light it!" Elara.
I run to go get oil.
Okay, yeah, there's plenty of like oil lanterns around the tavern.
Okay, I go grab one of them. And then I go back and I'll throw it at the troll. No, this is mine.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead and roll your. I guess make a ranged attack.
17.
All right, you grab the hold of a lantern or a lamp, and chuck it at the troll. It smashes against its shoulder, and you see the oil just kind of drench its torso. At that, you see Durnan quickly reach down, grab a candle off of a table, throw it up, and it splatters against the troll's chest. Immediately goes up in flames, and he just kind of like leans back and Sparta kicks this thing in its I guess in its like hip, and it just kind of topples over and falls back down the well.
Dang.
Yeah.
As the fight ends, you guys kind of glance around, and many of the patrons had taken cover or basically cleared out of the way, but now they're starting to move back and go back to their tables. Durnan kind of turns to you guys. You fought well, and then he heads back to the.
You fuck well.
And then he heads back to the bar.
Does that mean we're forgiven for the window?
Don't mention the window. It happened. We weren't here.
So, are you guys head back to your table? I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean everybody else is.
Minor disruption to the evening's festivities.
Pretty soon, a gentleman pushes through the crowd and makes his way over to your table. He's wearing kind of lavish clothing, including a scarf, a big floppy hat, and has a pretty big mustache, like a wide mustache. And he pushes through and approaches you guys.
Wait, I'm getting a drink. You can't talk yet.
She just is like.
This is after you've gotten your drink and sat down.
All right.
Okay.
I get up and get another one. No.
I'd like put my hand on her and
Just set
set her down.
You can't. You're not my. Okay.
The figure who approached you strokes his mustache, adjusts his floppy hat, and tightens his scarf. Volothamp Geddarm, chronicler, wizard, and celebrity at your service. I trust you've noted the violence in our fair city these past 10 days. I haven't seen so much blood since my last visit to Baldur's Gate, but now I fear I have misplaced a friend amid this odious malevolence. My friend's name is Floon Blagmar. He's got more beauty than brains, and I worry he took a bad way home a couple nights ago and was kidnapped, or worse. If you agree to track him down with all due haste, I can offer you 10 dragons apiece now, and I can give you each 10 times that when you find Floon. May I prevail upon you in my hour of need?
We just look at each other like, who is this guy?
I want you all to roll an insight check.
Okay. It's like,
23.
8.
21.
13.
All right, so everybody but Kara, you actually you all recognize his name. Azerath, it might take you a little bit longer, and it doesn't really click into you. You see the dawning of realization on these two faces. But Volo is a little famous. He's written quite a few books that are circulating all around Faerun. But no, he's
Boy gets around.
yeah, he's pretty famous. So
He's an adventurer, a wizard, occasional charlatan, author, and so full of himself it's amazing he doesn't float. But he's also loaded, so that's good.
all right. He asks, may I sit down with you? May I join you?
By all means.
Sure, and we all leave. We get a new
I'll-
table.
Still sitting, I'll pull out a chair for him.
Why, thank you.
It's my chair.
Thank you, my fine lady.
I'll pick up Kara and put her on my lap.
Takes car off, sits him down.
Just like,
Like, party navigating is so much easier when you can just pick up your party
yeah,
characters.
right.
Come on! I'm gonna play giant characters for the rest of my life.
So I take it. I trust that you will heed my need.
By all means, these are not safe streets to be lost in at the moment.
What,
Thank you.
Mr. Volo, is he human? What species, so we know who we're looking for?
Yeah. Yes, he is human.
What was he last seen in? Slowly drain my.
He was last seen 2 nights ago at the Skewered Dragon. It's a tavern down in the dock wards.
That's a rough place. I'm actually
Yes,
seen
Floon is a handsome human male. He's in his early 30s. He has wavy red blonde hair. And last I saw him, he was dressed in princely garb.
What color eyes and skin?
human color.
Brown.
You don't know?
Just go common brown.
The loveliest shade of light green eyes.
Yeah. Oh yes,
and fair skin. And as he's talking, he hands each of you a pouch, and when you look in, each pouch does contain 10 gold.
Oh. Do you know who might have wished your friend harm?
I could not possibly imagine. But these are dangerous times.
It's true.
So I fear the worst, but he was a lovely man, if not a little foolish, and maybe a little, had a little too much to drink the night that I last saw him.
Sir, I'm gonna be frank. Was he your friend or your friend?
Well, he's a friend.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out a reason why he would get kidnapped. So if he was, per se, I don't know, a lover, maybe that could be a reason?
No, he was just a friend.
Okay, just making sure.
Like maybe someone took him to get to you.
I can't imagine why somebody would want to do me ill will.
You are pretty famous, I'm assuming. Because I rolled poorly.
It's because Kara's drunk.
Kara don't know.
I like you. Remind me, after you have found my dear friend Floon, I would love to take you around the city.
Oh.
Oh.
That could be fun.
Alright.
So they're not lovers.
Wait, me or just everyone? Kara didn't pick up on it either.
Kara's too drunk.
Alright, let's go. I mean, as long as we drink. Does Blagnar live in Waterdeep?
Yes, he does.
What are some of the places he frequents? So we can kind of...
Well, the Skewered Dragon, the Floppy Minstrel, and... It's another tavern. Do not give me that book.
I didn't say anything.
He continues listing a few other taverns.
Oh, okay. Not overly important. Got it.
No.
Okay.
The Vermilion Minotaur. Dorgers, big Dorgers.
Alright, well...
Well, I guess we'll head over to the Skewered Dragon and see what we can rustle up.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I am very worried about him. If you do find him, please return him here safely.
No problem.
We'll see what we can do.
All right.
Don't get his hopes up.
Just for them to be right back down.
We might find his body, and if we do, we'll bring that back.
Dead or alive.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are headed down to the dock ward.
Yeah.
And going directly to the Skewered Dragon.
Yeah, unless something bad happens on the way there.
And we have to go to the minstrel.
So.
The floppy minstrel.
I want you all to roll another insight check, please.
Oh no.
How
can you do this to me?
Uh-oh.
Even worse.
How did you get less insightful on the walk over?
I think walking got the alcohol flowing more in my blood, and I was like, I'm just following you.
Usually it does the opposite.
She sees like a
20.
4.
Okay.
Oh,
Ekizi
what is
and
that?
Elara,
Oh, it's
you
baby.
guys, as you're walking through and you're looking around, you do know, this is something you guys had discovered before coming here, that the city has 2 rivaling factions. There's the Zentarim and the Xanathar Guild. They are basically rival gangs, and that's more or less what Volo is referring to with the violence in the streets. So you guys are walking down through the dock ward. As you turn a corner, you find yourselves on a street that has been cordoned off by the city watch. Lying on the cobblestones are a half dozen corpses, seemingly the victims of some terrible skirmish. Watch officers have disarmed and arrested 3 blood-drenched humans and are in the midst of questioning witnesses. One of the officers sees you. "Get on," he says. "Nothing to see here."
Looks like a lot to see here.
We're looking for a Floon Blagnar.
I'm busy. I do not know who that is. Continue on your way.
Well, he's missing. It kind of is your deal.
He kind of glances over to the bodies laying in the street and then looks back at you. "I'm busy. I've got more pressing matters to deal with. Continue on your way."
All right. Well,
What
good luck.
happened?
Gang war.
Yeah, as you're standing there watching the 3 humans that are being questioned, like one of them kind of looks over at you guys and like coldly catches your gaze. Just definitely somebody you don't want to be tangling with in the, running into it.
Until you're a higher level.
Oh,
So.
scary.
At least level 2. Then it'll be a half.
So I assume you guys are just going to continue on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No sense sticking around here.
Yeah. Tall, densely packed tenements leave most of the neighborhood in shadow at ground level. Most of the street lamps have had their glass smashed and their candles stolen, and the smells of salt air and excrement linger as you pass by rows of rundown buildings. So the dock wards is not a great place to be. This is a pretty rundown area of town. As you guys are nearing the Skewered Dragon, you guys are on the corner of Zestaro Street and Filet Lane. You see that one nearby shop stands out from the others. It has a deep purple facade, and in its window hangs a stuffed beholder. Above the door hangs a sign whose elaborate letters spell out "Old Zoblob Shop."
Well, it's certainly interesting.
It's very interesting.
And considering that guy's tattoos, and I'm assuming some of the other tattoos I've seen in the area, did remind me of a beholder.
Yes, and you, based off of the insight check earlier, and I'm sure that you've shared this with everybody else, the 2 of you, but you guys know that the Xanathar Guild is run by a beholder named Xanathar.
Okay. Yeah, this is interesting. Let's see what's up.
Alrighty. As soon as you enter, a cloud of lavender-scented purple smoke trails out of the shop door as you peer inside.
I sneeze violently.
You're Gesundheit. Every wall is painted purple, and every dusty knick-knack on the shelves is dyed a deep violet. The hairless old gnome sitting cross-legged on the counter wears plum-colored robes. His cheeks are decorated with 9 purple face-painted eyes. The gnome lowers a pipe and exhales a cloud of lavender smoke before raising a hand. "Hail and well met. Come browse the shelves of the most curious curiosity shop in the world."
Wow. I'm not entirely certain what to make of this guy, so I'm going to, pointedly browse the shelves
Okay.
so that until I can kind of gather my thoughts about what to do with this guy.
Alright. Zeke, you get a bronze, a bronze but painted violet pentacle with an etching of a rat's head in its center catches your eye.
Okay. What's this?
Quite a mysterious object. I think it calls to you.
What does it call me?
Whatever you like.
Oh, man.
And it will continue to call at you for a mere 5 gold.
But what does it do?
Well, what doesn't it do?
Who would you?
Unlock the mysteries of your mind.
No, seriously, what does it do?
It will open your eyes to a whole other world.
You don't know what it does, do you?
Not in the slightest.
Sounds like the divination
Does
teacher
anybody
from
have
Harry Potter.
identify?
No.
Kara,
Oh no. What do I see?
you find a shard of obsidian that always feels warm to the touch as you pick it up. It is also kind of dyed purple.
You know what? Sure, I will buy it.
What does this do?
He doesn't know.
Keeps you warm.
You can use it as a heating rock. And it's quite pretty, don't you think?
If you pull your sciatic, you can just put it right
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah.
It's only 3 gold, my lady.
I don't need a hand warmer or anything. It looks like a rock.
Well then, how about this? And he holds up a little vial that is a little, it's got a purplish liquid in it. How about this? This is only 4 gold.
What is
A
it?
vial of dragon blood, guaranteed to strengthen your spirit and your soul just by drinking it. And then he kind of glances over at his,
Azerath.
Azerath, dang it, Azerath.
Your name.
Oh, man. Alright, he kind of glances over at Azerath and just kind of...
He's like, dude, cannibalism. Like half cannibalism,
Like,
man.
how did you get that?
Trade secrets.
I lanced a boil on a dragon.
You really don't want to drink that then. That's
Yeah,
infected.
I'm like, ugh.
So you have no interest?
It's just 3 gold.
3? No, 4.
No, the blood's
I
4
heard
gold.
3 gold.
3.
You are tricky.
Also
3
drunk.
gold, 4 gold, my lady.
Uh,
I actually do believe I said 5, but you've charmed me. 4 gold.
Scratching your face. Yeah, I am pretty charming.
Enchanting even.
Oh, stop. No, really. Stop. Yeah, alright. I'll buy it.
A purple handkerchief embroidered with the name of a powerful archmage. You see, you find a purple handkerchief with some dude's name on it. Very lavishly, like in gold filigree, pretty much.
Not interested.
Oh, are you sure? It is only a mere 2 gold pieces.
Not interested.
Someone else's boogers were on there.
It's quite clean, I assure you.
Oh god, you get to sell me the handkerchief too?
You find a tiny chest, a little tiny like lavender chest, but it's been carved to look like it has numerous feet on the bottom.
How much?
4 gold.
What's in it?
Whatever you want to put in it.
So it's
I'm
empty.
Yes, I'm selling you the chest.
Just the chest. Nothing in it. With carved feet.
And they're totally like human feet. Like that's what I am imagining, so that's what's going to happen. Why yes.
I think I'm good.
You could stick your jewelry in it.
In battle, I don't wear a lot of jewelry, so
Well, you gotta put them somewhere then.
I don't wear any really. Except,
You could always put the teeth of your felled foes in it.
that's morbid. I wear them on a chain.
Jewelry then.
Oh wait, my chain belt. You got anything else?
He holds up a crystal like ball, almost. It's more like it almost looks like a faux diamond almost. It too has been like kind of tinted purple, and he just holds it up and shows it to you. Quite beautiful, isn't it?
What does it do? I mean, if you tell me whatever I want it to do.
Why do you people insist on these things doing something? It's pretty. You look at it. You display it on your window. You put it on the table and use it as a conversation piece when you have guests.
Hey, look at
You
this
stick
rock.
it in a tiny box and take it to the battlefield and bludgeon your enemies with. I don't care. It's pretty.
You know what? How much is it?
5 gold.
I think I'm good. I'm good.
Very well. And he puts it back down.
Okay. You know what? I wanted it, but I didn't want it. I had to tell myself, Elara, you can't take shit home with you all the time. Even if it is purple and sparkly. God. You gotta draw the line somewhere, Elara. This is it.
So you guys have perused his shop a bit. Are you doing anything else?
Ask him for information about anything. If he's seen anything.
Yeah, try and
I've seen many things.
subtly
How-
hint about like about why the and tried to like ask him why the gang wars are so violent all of a sudden. Like, does he know why the streets are so unsafe?
I could not tell you, no. I have no idea.
Sir, why is your shop so purple?
Purple is a magnificent color.
It is, but there's so much of it.
Isn't it wonderful? And then he like takes a huge drag on his pipe and blows out a huge plume of purple smoke.
Oh man.
It's like Willy Wonka mixed with Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
We're looking for a guy.
I don't settle guys here.
Well, maybe you've seen him. He, human guy, blonde, long, blonde, wavy hair.
He had reddish blonde.
Oh.
It's like red blonde.
Oh, I didn't hear red.
Yeah.
The fairest of skin.
Reddish blonde.
Nice clothes.
Light green eyes.
Like, we're talking Snow White skin.
He as you're describing the man, he just kind of sucks on his pipe, inhales a bit and puffs out another little bit of smoke and I don't know, that doesn't sound too familiar. I mean, maybe if you had purchased more of my wonderful purple items.
Insight check.
Okay. Roll your insight.
Is he lying? 23.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely. It's not necessarily that he's lying, but he definitely recognizes the
He's
description.
withholding information.
And he's definitely
Okay.
purposefully being aloof about it.
Ooh.
If I buy the damn jewel from you, will you give me some information?
I bought the pentacle.
I like you.
Hooray.
I don't like you.
That's fine. No, not a lot of people do.
Then could you tell me where this missing man is?
I imagine that he is where he needs to be.
That's terrifying.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Why must I roll so many things I'm so bad at? 12.
Ah,
It's the cow eyes.
yeah, he's right where he needs to be.
Can I try one?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, are you gonna try to talk? How exactly are you? So you're gonna try to persuade him?
Yes.
Oh, because you offered to buy something.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Ooh. That's ugly.
9.
I might if you buy something from me. Yes.
Okay. I will buy that beautiful purple jewel that you were trying to sell me for 5 gold.
12 gold.
Fuck. Should have been nicer. Do you have anything cheaper in here? I'm running on fumes here, man. Do you see these clothes? Kind of worn.
And not purple.
And do you have a purple shirt?
I thought you didn't like purple.
I love purple. I just thought, there's a lot of it in here, and my eyes were trying to adjust to all of it. Purple is actually one of my favorite colors.
I do not have a shirt,
Okay.
but I might have something in your price range.
Okay.
He holds up a little. At first, you think it's like a marble,
Uh-huh.
but then he kind of like twists it, and you can see that it's a glass eye. The iris is purple, of course. 7 gold.
I'm actually interested. I'll take it.
Okay. Nice doing business with you. Anything else?
Yeah, the info.
What info?
I want to know about the guy.
Oh, the guy with the red hair.
Mhm.
The red wavy hair. Okay, roll your persuasion check.
Roll intimidation. You're better at that.
Yeah.
Intimidate him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will aid by being huge.
Okay, so, Kara, go ahead and roll intimidation at advantage.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm gonna get like really close and just
Well,
absent-mindedly sort of have like one of my hand axes out, and I'm just like trying to.
go ahead.
No.
Go ahead and roll your intimidation check, and we'll discuss how it plays out from there.
17.
Okay, so you kind of get close to him with your hand on your axe, and you don't really pay attention, but little do you know, Ekizi is standing like right behind you, and just
Like in silhouette.
yeah,
With just my eyes flashing.
pretty much. And you see him, he kind of leans back a little bit on the counter, and his eyes kind of glance up above your head a few times, then back at you.
I'm
We're
stuck.
just trying to find him for a friend, and I would think that if you went missing, someone wouldn't want to just say he is where he needs to be. Now,
That's a subtle threat right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. He is visibly shaken by this. Very well. Yes, I saw a gentleman of the description. With another of similar, well-dressed fellow, similar in appearance and bearing, actually. But they were jumped outside the shop by rough-looking men in black leather armor.
Did they have any sigils, markings, so we can identify them?
Yes, I believe one of them had a black tattoo of a winged snake on his neck.
Okay.
Do we need to...
Go ahead and roll insight.
Oh, man, I don't know something. Matt.
Oh, okay.
Or Ekizi doesn't know something, but Chris does, and that's the worst thing.
Oh, Elara, you can go ahead and
Okay.
roll it as well, since you...
Oh, nat 20.
Oh.
Okay, you know exactly what that means. It is basically the Zentarum, sigil. It's their, not logo, that's not the right word. Sigil, yeah, it's their marking, basically.
Guys, it's the Centaurus sigil.
With an X, right? Which way did they go?
I don't know. Down the street?
Left or right?
Left. Away from the skewered dragon.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your patronage.
Yeah.
And he takes a long drag on his pipe.
They turn, like,
Pops it out slowly.
tangled up in some crap in the ceiling and have to, like, unturn
Just like
turn
trying to
the
help
other
you.
direction.
And you can hear him making little noises of like...
It's like, damn it, we would have left all cool.
Little groans.
We had to like
I, like,
unlock.
crouch to get into the door, and, like,
Okay.
one of my horns goes conk on the door. And I gotta bend down a little bit more.
Yeah, we're like behind you when that happens, so we have to like back
Yeah.
out and let you get through. Just like that.
It was like, guys.
Yeah. We won't be back.
No.
This is like-
We can never return here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was so awkward.
Should we check out the dragon and see what they know?
Yeah.
If anybody there knows anything?
Yeah. See if we can corroborate this guy's story.
Okay.
Or at least see who he was there with.
So it's the skewered dragon is not very far away from this from the Zoblob shop. Maybe just a couple blocks away. But the skewered dragon inn looks like a ruin. Both of its front-facing windows are smashed, and a ship's anchor is lodged in the roof. Through the windows, you can see a group of haggard patrons drinking from huge tankards. And at this point, it's starting to get, like, the sun is setting. It's early spring at this point, and the early spring in Waterdeep is not really pleasant. The
Moist.
winters here are really, really harsh, so it's really drizzly, really overcast, and it's getting colder. Like I said, you see patrons drinking from huge tankards inside in this tavern. Does not look like a place that you would normally want to walk
Just
into.
kind of like my second home.
You take the lead, Carl. We'll back you up.
And
Yeah,
you
I go in.
Yeah, yep.
I'll follow her.
I just
Okay.
kind of look around. I don't like walk.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just kind of look around. I walk in slowly.
It's quiet in here. It's definitely not the same atmosphere as the Yawning Portal Inn. These are, like, you look around and you can see these people are wearing, like, working clothes. They're clearly just come from the docks. They're all haggard and dirty and tired, but they're all drinking pretty much quietly. And a few of them eye you warily as you walk in.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to the bar.
The barkeep is sitting behind it,
Yeah.
or standing there.
I'll order 4 ales.
He doesn't say a word, just pours them and...
He starts trying to hand them out to them, like, no. No.
Yeah, you know what? Okay.
No.
And nods at you.
And
And then looks expectantly at the rest of you.
I'm gonna keep
I'm
his
just like-
oh.
I'll
He
get
pours a fifth.
another round of grape juice.
He narrows his eyes. Begrudgingly pours it.
Good. At least it's not milk. Because that'd be weird.
That would be... Not,
Kind of.
not overly so.
It's like
The
slightly
juice of
curly.
the-
It's like, ooh.
No, it's because he's a cow.
Oh yeah.
She
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
already. He was
Forgot.
mooing 5 seconds ago.
Yeah,
But at any
it's
rate.
true.
And I'll take a pint.
Okay. Yeah, he pours you all. He has not said a word, but he has done this.
I'm gonna slide, because how much are these?
They're a couple copper apiece.
Okay, so she's gonna count out 8, and then start sliding him over, and then there's gonna be a silver on top of it, and she's gonna ask him if he's seen Floon, and describe him. And she's doing this kind of like just between them kind of thing.
Okay.
Just like she was paying him, but like...
Yeah, he takes the money and he tells you, yeah, your boy was here a few nights ago, drinking with that Volo guy.
We heard about a couple of black tattooed fellas with some winged snakes.
I don't know nothing about that, but I do remember that after the Volo guy left, your boy stayed behind, kept drinking. Had a few more. Stuck around long enough to meet with another friend. What was his name? Hey, Bobby, what was his name? And you see one of the other patrons is like, Rainer Neverember.
What?
Rainer
Neverember.
That's an important name. Do we know that's an important name?
Go ahead and roll insight.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. I'm all about that shit.
5.
22.
17.
3. Okay, so is Ekizi and Kara, you both recognize him as the son of Waterdeep's previous open lord, Degalt Neverember.
Huh.
But he says, yeah, Rainer Neverember. Just another spoiled rich noble who likes to rub our noses in it.
How dare they?
The barkeep continues, though. The two drank and played a few rounds of 3 Dragon Auntie before leaving around midnight. 5 men followed him out and
Followed.
haven't seen either them boys, your boy or his friend Raina. Haven't seen him since.
Or any of the men that followed him out here tonight?
No, haven't seen them since either.
Have you seen them before?
Yeah, here and there. They frequent a warehouse in Candle Lane.
There we go.
Ooh.
And then you hear another of the tavern, the guys in the tavern says, "Look for the snake symbol on the door."
Oh.
That's easy enough.
Yeah. Much obliged. And I just...
Down all 4 of them.
Yeah, I gotta go. I wasn't gonna give him 2 silver. Are you crazy? I was gonna drink my money. Okay, yeah, I get back up. And I walk out the door.
Lars just
stumbles
shaking her
over
head.
like someone's chair.
You pick up the chair.
We're going to be
Excuse me,
carrying
sir.
you home in a bucket.
Excuse me, sir. Falls over.
So you guys headed to Candle Lane?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
She gets them lost.
Yeah. It's all how.
Someone just pick her up the whole time.
So gloom envelops a narrow alley as dark as a dungeon, and as if Dornis is one. Nearly all the street lamps have been smashed. The only light that pierces the darkness is a faint flickering from down the lane, like a distant candle.
Well named.
It's pretty easy to find. You guys walk down, and it's pretty much directly across the alleyway from this one flickering candle. It's illuminating the door, and on it is a black-winged snake.
If they're trying to hide, they're not doing a very good job.
They're bad at hiding.
We should see if there's any other doors or windows we can...
Okay,
Like a
you're
looky-loo.
examining it. It's a 2-story warehouse. It stands at the back of an outer yard behind a high fence. When you check the gate on the fence, it isn't locked. And you do find there are 3 points of entry after kind of circling the building. There's a front door, a large warehouse loading door, and a painted over window. And you can see that the front door has a sliding peephole that can be opened from the inside.
But not from the outside.
Not from
And
the
there's no
outside.
upper windows on the second floor?
Not that you can reach.
Okay. I can always climb up on the building next to it and jump through the roof.
You'd need a table first.
I feel like you're too drunk for that.
Yeah.
I can do
Although that does sound
Laying
like
in
something a drunk person would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
I gotta check this out. I can do this.
Yeah. She's
Like-
laying in the street, like pretending like she's doing it.
Matt's just like, roll this.
Here I go.
I can do it. Bet you a gold.
I knock on the door.
Oh.
There is no response.
I knock louder.
I was just gonna say, knock louder.
Nothing.
Well, this is a shitty area, right?
Yeah, it's not a great place.
Alright, I'm gonna kick open the door.
Alright. Rolls your strength.
Rolls yours.
Roll strong.
13.
Yeah, you kick the door open. It flies open with a loud splam.
Oh man.
You can see that the inside of the warehouse, there are some torches lit along the walls, lighting the area, but there's nobody in.
Out
Okay.
of curiosity, could we have just, turned the
Oh yeah,
knob?
we didn't actually check to see if the door was open.
You did not.
Was
You
it?
did not check.
No.
It's too late to check now.
It
It is open
It's
now.
I found the key. It was in my boot.
But you see there's a lot of like boxes and
Don't make
crates
decisions.
and some toppled furniture in here.
Any floons?
You do not see anybody.
Okay.
Any,
Just the toppled furniture.
do I see anything? Is there any railings above? Like, do I see like the room above it all, or is it all just solid second floor?
No. It's it's like an open. Basically, yeah. The second floor is kind of open with some catwalks along the side, along the edges that you can see. You can tell that there's rooms up there as well. But you walk in, and the tables and chairs have been carelessly tossed across the floor. And when you kind of walk in there a little bit more, you find corpses of a dozen men lying along the walls.
Uh-oh.
There are rapiers and daggers lying nearby. And then on the north side of the area, stairs rise to an open level above.
Does it look like that these corpses came from upstairs and then were slaughtered?
They're just laying like along the walls and stuff, so you really can't tell that. Not really, but you're going to examine them, I assume?
Yeah,
Yeah.
poorly.
Look this stuff over.
Whatever it is, it's gonna be bad for Kara.
Alright, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
7.
13.
14.
Okay. You two, you find that 5 of the humans have, not necessarily on their necks, but in various places, they all have a tattoo of a black-winged snake. And one of the other ones, the other guys, has a black tattoo in the palm of his right hand that looks like a circle with 10 spokes radiating out of its circumference.
Huh.
Do we know what that means, or does any of us?
Making an insight check.
4.
18.
14.
18.
The 3 of you, Kara is just, she can barely, how many hands does this guy have?
Yeah, it's just like holding
But
one.
the 3 of you guys, you realize that this is the symbol of Xanathar.
I think that means it's a gang war.
Well, we knew it was a gang war. Right?
So I think Xanathar has Floon now. Maybe.
We're just playing a game of who's got floon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that game.
I'm gonna look around for any hidden compartments, any journals, anything that we can kind of discern what the flippity flu is going on. Magic.
That's a lot of rolling, Matt.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, Jesus.
How many traps did we trigger?
God.
They're
Take
not-
the
they're
wheel.
not actually
all
dead.
of the traps. So many traps.
Fuck.
My husband just
Azerath?
killed my character.
Azerath. Yeah, I got it right that time.
Yeah.
Azerath, take 6 damage.
Oh.
Alara, take 5.
No.
Kara, take 6. And Ekizi takes 7.
Oh, that's bad for Ekizi.
Suddenly, like, as you guys are kind of, like, milling around, you hear a bunch of, like, movement, things springing out from behind boxes and chairs. You guys catch glimpses. 4 Kenku leap out brandishing short swords, and each one of them runs over and attacks each of you. Doing so spectacularly. Roll initiative.
Ouch.
Azerath, what'd you get?
16.
Kara?
I just want to put stuff. Yes.
What'd you get?
17.
Ekizi?
13.
And Alara.
12.
That's why we were able to
Alright,
see.
well, unfortunately,
Not just
you
like
guys,
my
the
good
Kenku,
looks.
get to act first. They were ready for your asses.
Oh, God.
Why did we do this?
Damn birds, they're gonna kill us all.
Because Ekizi knocked.
It's
True.
I was gonna blame Kara.
Alright, the first Kenku is going to attack Azerath.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
You'll
I
get
don't
it.
know
Yeah, just pick the hardest name.
That's a nothing. And doesn't his sword bounces off of your armor.
Which is good, since you just have 1 hit point left.
Yeah.
The next one is going to not do anything.
Did he net one?
Yeah. The next one is gonna try. He swings at Elara, but like at the apex of his swing, he accidentally lets go of his sword and it goes flying over your shoulder and hits the wall.
Goodness.
I'm like, convenient.
By the way, because Penny was looking into this, nat ones in combat usually just means miss in this system, unless the DM wants to impose penalties.
Yeah.
I find that super fun, so
Yeah.
that's what we're doing.
No, that's
No,
fine.
I love crit failures. They're hilarious.
Yeah, no, that's what makes it interesting.
The nat 20 should feel like you punched out Jesus, and
Yeah.
the nat 1 should feel like he stepped on your face.
Exactly. Exactly.
Jesus
That's kinda
took
where
that
I'm
wheel.
at.
Yeah.
I was mainly curious,
The
just
one,
because if
the
there
one
was like
engaged with Kara, she tries to attack you, but it slams off of your armor. Who all has shields? I know you have a shield. No wonder the ACs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You win.
Okay,
With
and
the 3 classes that start with shields.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's a shitty shield.
well,
It's a
stop
shield,
this
not
short
one.
sword.
Good.
So,
So are we spread out in this room? I just want to know how.
yeah, you guys are kind of spread out.
Okay, I just need to know for my protection.
Okay.
If I
How
can-
big is this room? Like, am I thinking? Because in my head, it's like warehouse size.
Yeah, it's a warehouse.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's an absolutely
Awesome.
a warehouse. It's roughly 40 feet by 85 feet.
Okay, cool.
That's a lot of feet.
And by roughly, I mean exactly.
Like, if I yelled in this room, it would echo off the walls.
Well, there's a lot of boxes and stuff.
If
It's
I
not
took,
empty.
If I took the boxes out.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Please don't
One-
take to the time to
one
take the
by
boxes out so
one.
you can yell.
Alright, you gotta go. That's your turn.
Hey guys, there's some feisty birds. I'm gonna.
Oh, we're gonna die.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Also, can someone heal me? I'm gonna hit one of the birds that's in front of me.
Alright, make your attack check.
I
Make your-
talk shit to him. All drunk, burp in his face.
Oh, that means he's gonna know how to do that. They're Kenku.
He's
I
not
know.
gonna know how to do it. It's not.
You're just
They aren't the
You're
taskmaster.
just gonna make that sound.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You're
Yeah.
not gonna actually do it. We're just like, ugh. I think that was
Well,
a
that's
dwarf.
almost worse because he's just gonna open his mouth and go. He's just gonna pop open his beak and belch.
25.
That is a hit.
Okay. I'm sorry about what I'm about to do to you.
I'm sorry for the face smashing that is about to occur.
11.
And what type of weapon are you using?
Battle axe, so it's
Okay.
slashes.
Okay. Yeah, you cleave into this guy. He's you get your axe wedged into his chest and pull it out, and he falls back looking quite rattled,
Good.
to say the least.
You started it.
Azerath?
I am going to attack with my long sword. Shit.
It is not good.
No, I'm not.
So that's an 8.
Okay, yeah, you swing, but he parries with his short sword. Kind of just knocks it away.
They're all learning how to burp now.
Oh,
Are you doing anything else?
No.
Okay. Ekizi?
Okay, I am going to run up to Azzy, and I am going to.
Well, okay, if you're gonna leave... If
Oh,
you're,
there's someone on me in there.
Yeah, there's one on each of you. I mean,
Ah,
you can
beans.
still do it, but
That would probably kill me.
if it hits you... To be fair, one of the only
Yeah.
reasons they all hit you guys in the first part is because these things got advantage on ambushes. So,
Eh.
and they all rolled really well.
Okay, well then, let's see. Since I do have a guy all up in my stuff right now, I am going to give him the horns. Or the horn.
The horn.
The horn. The
Okay.
one. Oh no! My horns fell off!
Oh shit.
I rolled a nat one.
Okay, you rush, kind of back up and lean down and just kind of try to gore
Yeah.
him, but your horn gets tangled up in his cloak.
Oh no!
And now you're kind of just attached to him.
Yeah, I'm in like prime getting stabbed in the neck position.
Yeah, it's not great for you.
I'm
Alright.
gonna try and disentangle myself. Yeah, what do you want me to roll for that?
Well, how are you disentangling yourself? Are you gonna rip it out of his cloak, or are you gonna try to actually try to just?
Yeah, I'll
loosen
just pull back as
Alright,
hard
make
as
a
I
strength
can.
check.
14.
Yeah, you do so. You rip part of his cloak off, but as you pull back, and you can see black feathers underneath. But
Okay.
but yeah, now you've got kind of the cloak wrapped around your horn still.
Well, that
Elara?
sucks, but
I am going to cast Cure Wounds on this guy right here, because he's
On Mr. Bleedy.
the leady.
All right.
The creature you touch regains a number of hit points equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
Okay.
Okay.
Before you do that, you're not next to him right now. You would have to move up to him.
You'd have to do
Oh,
like
okay.
healing
Yeah, you have to
word.
touch him.
Okay.
You could do healing
I mean,
word.
you can, but again, you'll invoke an attack of opportunity.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could yell at him like, "Hey, heal you,
I have
jackass."
that.
yeah, that's
That's
why.
if Kara was a cleric.
Okay. I'll heal you after.
Yeah. You don't have healing word? Or
I
not
have
active?
to learn. I haven't activated.
Oh, you haven't prepared it?
Yeah, I
Okay.
haven't prepared
That's
it
fine.
yet.
Yeah.
I
As a
was
cleric, she knows
I was
all of her
unprepared to prepare these spells.
No, that's yeah.
You
no,
thought your
that's
day was
fine.
going to be uneventful.
Yeah, and I was like,
Turned out to be very eventful.
I'm looking at my spells. I'm like, I don't have a lot of them. And then I have to go to the manager. And I'm like, I don't got time for that right now. I'm fighting.
Okay.
So the guy in front of me who lost his sword or whatever it was, I am going to hit him with my mace.
All right.
6.
You do not. he's actually very concerned about getting his sword back. That when you swing, you miss his head, and it's just kind of like Mr. Magoo. He didn't even intend
He
to dodge.
didn't even knew you hit him.
Yeah,
Or
he
attacked
didn't
him.
even know you attacked.
I've had a little bit to drink.
Yeah.
Okay. You still have a move action if you would like to try to get
I
out of
think
there.
we're in a bar fight.
So since he's gone,
He's not gone. He's just. I mean, if you move, he will get an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
His attack is going to be a punch. I mean.
I only have 3 right now. I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
Okay. The Kenku's turn.
More
Alright,
water.
so Azerath is going to attack him and fail. So yeah, you pull up your shield just as it bashes against it. It was not a narrow thing. He telegraphed his attack, I guess. Elara, okay, so Elara, the one that was attacking you, was going to run over to get his sword. You get an attack of opportunity if you would like.
Sweet.
It's a melee attack.
Mm-hmm.
3.
Okay, he gets away from you.
Whatever you're.
Oh, what's
So unless
I
it's,
doubt it's
Yeah.
not. I doubt it's higher
Six.
than it needs to be.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Little do we know her
he
proficiency
quickly
modifier is
runs
plus
over. You
15.
Yeah.
swing at him again. You were off. You were actually taken off guard by the first attack missing, and then you kind of swung at him as he was running past you to go get his sword.
like stop being
Um,
so fast.
He picks up his sword, but he puts his sword away and draws out his short bow.
Oh gee.
Cool.
This bitch.
All right. Kara, the one that you just cleaved, turns around and starts running away. Go ahead and make your attack. Your attack of opportunity.
I love it when they run.
Jesus.
13.
13 hits.
Wow, I didn't think it did. I was like, you fast little birdie.
Poor bird.
6.
Okay. Finish him.
Nice.
Oh shit. She says, I love it when they run away. And it's gonna be this cool, she's gonna get it and she slips on something and she
From some of his blood.
kills it on accident.
Okay, yeah, you raise your axe. You're all intense. You slip on his blood, stumble forward, and just cleave into him. And he dies.
He dies.
He died.
Falls in and there's blood
All
all
right.
over her face.
She just gets
Did I do it?
And then the last one is going to attack the one that just had his cloak ripped. Kind of looks at you and Ekizi and just shrugs and
I
then
shrug
attacks
back.
you. Yeah, he attacks at you.
Is it bad?
Yeah, he hits you.
It's not great.
Oh, no.
You're about to be down a cow.
Ooh,
How bad is
7
it?
damage.
Oh, I'm down.
Oh no.
Okay. So
He
you guys,
did.
you see him, you see this Kenku that that Ekizi was currently tangled in, literally. He kind of just stabs into her and then pulls it out, and she just crumples on the floor.
Yeah, what
Kara.
is happening?
All right, I'm gonna run over to the one that
It's really
Oh,
weird, I don't like
Elara is fighting.
Okay.
And as I'm doing that, I'm going to use my bonus action to second wind.
Okay.
And then I'm going to battle axe the Kenku she's with.
Well, he's along the wall. He'd drawn his short bow.
Mm-hmm.
And when he sees you coming, his eyes get wide, and you hear him. Oh no!
Oh no, he's right.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Kenku so much.
Yeah.
They make me so happy.
Heal the bovine. 23?
That's a hit. Why are you? I hope I hit.
Yeah.
20 freaking 3.
He might have had a shield. I don't know. They're powerful, apparently. 9.
Yeah, you run over to him and you hit him pretty good with your axe. Azerath.
Alright, I'm going to once again try and attack the Kenku that is near me.
Alrighty.
12.
That is not a hit. So yeah, he
You're probably like 1 shy.
yeah, you swing your sword at him and he kind of like nimbly jumps back and you could see like little black feathers clipped from him as you
Yeah.
as your sword slices by. Ekizi, make a death saving throw.
I don't wanna. I just want you to picture how this looked when I went down. This little, like, 5'0" bird, like, poked me with its knife, and then I just go down like a fucking redwood.
Yeah.
Oh, no! That's a nat 1!
Oh no, that's 2.
Yeah,
That's 2.
that is 2
Oh,
strikes against you.
no.
Oh,
Save
no.
the bovine!
Failure.
Or the paladin, either
Failure.
one. I can't do it.
Oh man. Elara.
Man, Ekizi's not gonna be over this goddamn
so
world,
you
is
were
she?
no longer in melee with one of these Kenku,
Sweet.
but you saw your bovine friend go down and does not look well. There's a lot of blood under her.
So, I run up to Chris's character and I cast Spare the Dying.
Oh, good. That's a good thing to cast. So, how exactly does it work?
It says you touch a living creature that has 0 hit points, the creature becomes stable, the spell has no effect on the undead
Okay.
or constructs.
Cool. Yeah, you stop her from bleeding. You can see the wound, like the wound that this thing's. Like at a glance, it looks like it stabbed her in like the kidney, and you close up that wound. So
I think that puts her at 0, right?
yeah, she's at
Yeah.
0. She's just stable.
Yeah,
She
so
doesn't
she's,
need to roll death saving throws anymore.
and I love it because it's a cantrip, so I can use it whenever the fuck I want.
The Kenku fighting
Yeah,
Azerath
that's-
is going to
that's
attack him. Oh no! And hit. Cheapers.
So you don't.
9 damage. So you're
Oh,
down to
no.
0, right?
Yeah,
All right. So you see, you guys, as you're sparing the dying on Ekizi, you kind of glance over and you see your Dragonborn Paladin take one, like, you see a slash go across his face and he falls to the ground.
We're only at level 1!
Then the one that was, the one that is
Out of
fighting,
our depth here.
the one that was fighting, or that you ran up to, he, like, drops his bow and arrow in panic and tries to attack you with his short sword on the rebound.
Man, he likes to drop his stuff.
Butterfingers.
Yeah. His name is Butterfingers McGee.
Yeah.
He's Butters.
But, I don't believe he hits him.
Well, since Kenku usually like name themselves after sounds rather than actual names, his name is just like.
Yeah. His name is the sound of a clattering sword on the ground.
Yeah.
And then
Tells
the
a
one,
story.
the one that downed
Doesn't it
Ekizi
just?
is now going to attack Alara. Since
Ah.
she's
Watch out, this
right
fucker's
there.
dynamite.
Who will heal
And
me?
he like kind of slashes at you, but you kind of bring up your sword or your shield just in time to stop the attack.
Not today,
Kara.
Satan.
Alright. I guess I'll try and finish this one off. There's no corn here! 19 natural.
That's
so
a
I'm
hit.
not even gonna.
That's a hit. That's a hit against this poor bird.
Max damage. 12.
Shapers.
Okie did.
Finish him.
Okay. I'm going to kick him against the wall, and as he bounces back at me, I take off his head.
All right. When you do that, you hear two distinct dismayed cries from the other two. One of them, "Oh no!" and the other one,
They make mariachi bands. Kara's so drunk, she's like, I don't know where I'm at. Just starts dancing with her battle axe.
All right. Well, you've got a move action.
All right, I'm gonna move over to the one that's attacking Elara again. A new one.
Okay.
Part 3, Part 2, whatever we're at. The
Well,
revenge.
Keep in mind there is still one above Azerath's body.
Oh, then I'll take that one out.
I
Okay.
kind of figured you're gonna go after that one.
Yeah,
Okay. Speaking, Azerath, make a death saving throw.
15.
All right, that is a save. Speaking of Ekizi, it's your turn. Nothing happens.
Yep.
Elara?
I'll just.
I'm gonna
Yep.
cast Sacred Flame
Nice.
on the one that's attacking me.
Okay.
And
How does that work?
It says flame-like radiant descends on a creature that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 radiant damage.
All right. What's your spell your spell save?
Save
13.
DC 13.
He saved.
Fuck.
So yeah, you call down these sacred flames on him, and he just kind of
He's
shrugs it off. He just doesn't care.
like,
But he's still going, "Oh no!"
Oh no is right.
So you're not the one. He's not going after. Or you're not going after this one.
Oh, I know, but she's
So,
drunk. She just thinks she's
you
like.
still have a move action if you would like to go anywhere.
no, if I go anywhere, he's just gonna get a gain. So.
Okay.
I have so many places I'd like to go.
So the two remaining Kenku, the one that's now currently engaged with Kara and the one that's fighting Elara, they both see their two fallen brethren, and they both turn around and start running towards the door. Both of you get attacks of opportunity.
And then that was just.
A melee attack. Like attack with your mace.
Oh, okay.
19?
That's a hit. Again, what the hell?
Well, it was a natural 13, and I was like, wait, what do I add to that?
19.
Both hit, so make it roll your damage.
Max damage last roll this time.
Oh,
Min
it's
damage 5.
1d6. So.
Then, yeah, 1d6 plus 1.
1.
Yeah, you min
So
as
2
well.
damage. Okay. Yeah, you both smack these things as they're running away, but they're moving a little faster than you both anticipated. But they are making it they're running to the door. Kara?
I'm going to prop my battle axe against my leg and throw a hand axe at the one I'm...
Oh, and as they're running, you hear one of them, "Run away!"
Yes! I'm going to throw one of my hand axes at the one running away.
Okay.
17?
That's a hit.
10?
10 damage.
Yeah.
Finish him.
It's like one of those, like, you know, was that Crocodile Dundee where he throws the can?
I like how she's the drunkest out of all of us,
Yeah.
and she's the
having
best.
such the greatest time ever. Just, that was this
It's
handbag. Like, almost like she's completely sober, but after she throws it, she, like, stumbles a bit.
It's like she's
hits her right in the back.
when she's sober, she's gonna roll all these terrible rolls. When she's
Yeah.
drunk,
Okay,
Yeah.
he's dead. He's down. The one that was also fleeing was behind him, and you hear he kind of slides a little bit, trying to. Whoa, man! So, Azerath, make another death saving throw.
don't lose.
15.
That's another success.
Guys, I've
Ekizi's
never
still
killed
down.
everything
Elara.
before.
So nobody's looking at me, right? Like
No,
I
no.
can take out. Okay.
Yeah, no. The only remaining Kenku is fleeing.
Okay. So then I run up to Azzy over here,
Alrighty.
and I cast Spare the Dying.
All right. You stabilize.
So wake up.
All right. The final Kenku runs outside and disappears into the night.
I'll get him. Just lays down.
Combat is over.
Oh man.
Oh, thank God.
Alright, would you like to cast your
I'll get him tomorrow.
your healing touch on these two?
Oh, yeah.
Please.
So how...
Yeah.
I only have 2 spells.
Well,
You
guess
can-
what?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
He does have lay on hands too.
So I would do him first, and then
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So...
The healing train.
Then he
Choo-choo!
can, he can wake
All
up her.
aboard.
Creature you touch regains a number of hit points equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
And your spellcasting ability modifier is +3, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Because, yep.
Well, she
2. So...
5 HP.
5.
So, Azerath, you go ahead and heal 5 HP.
Better than what you had before, sir.
Yeah.
While she's doing that, Kara goes up to one of the birds, like, "Hey, Laura, I think these were birds."
Oh man!
You see that big raven?
Yeah.
A fucking crow attacked us.
And she just yells back, I don't have time for your stupidity!
Your drunken ramblings.
Lay down!
Azerath, are you going to use your lay on hands on?
Yeah.
Alright, so how does that work exactly?
Okay, so your blessed touch can heal wounds. You have a pool of healing power that replenishes when you take a long rest. With that pool, you can restore a total number of hit points equal to your paladin level times 5.
I feel like
So
I need
5 HP.
different
5 HP.
dice for
I
this
know.
one.
Hooray! Hooray! I have exactly as much HP as I did before I went down.
Alright. So you guys are now in an empty warehouse.
We sure are.
Full of boxes and other rooms and
And
such.
dead birds.
And dead birds and dead humans.
Yeah.
There's a lot of corpses in here.
It's very corpsey in here.
Very, very corpsey.
Wait, let me keep these just
So
in
in
case.
this room, you guys see there's a staircase leading up to the second level, and just a bunch of boxes and stuff.
And do I see any, like even on the bodies, do I see any notes or anything that might help us in our investigation to find?
No, you've already on the Kenku, you do not. No, you don't find
Okay.
anything on them.
Hell were they doing here? There's no corn here. You guys see any corn?
There is a storage closet underneath the stairs.
Oh, we should probably check
Oh yeah,
that then.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you guys go over there. The door to this back room hangs loosely on broken hinges. And the chamber beyond smells strongly of sour fish and vinegar. You can see tons. You see a lot of discarded ropes, canvas, splintered wood from smashed barrels. Roll a perception check. Anybody who's over there.
16.
Nat 20.
14.
7.
Okay. So everybody but Azerath can hear ragged breathing coming from the back of the room of this little storage closet.
Okay. Oh yeah, I retrieved my hand.
Yeah, from under a tarpaulin. Big
Okay,
tarp.
I'm gonna go look.
Underneath is a fair-skinned, reddish blondish haired young man.
Is he gagged?
No.
Okay. Hey, are you
He's-
Floon?
Is
Are
it gay?
you Floon? Your friend's Volo was looking for you.
He looks up at you. No. I'm Rainer.
Well, where's Floon?
Wait, does Rainer and Floon look alike?
I've been looking for the wrong guy. Gah.
Floon and I were jumped by these men, and they brought us here and tied us to chairs, and they were interrogating us, and I think that they mistook Floon for me, and they took him.
Well, what were they asking you?
Well, the Zentarum think that my father embezzled a large amount of gold while he was open lord, and that he hid the dragon somewhere in the city. They think they can find it by using an artifact called the Stone of Galore, which was in the hands of the Xanathar Guild until recently. Apparently someone stole it. The Zens thought I knew something all about this, but I don't. My father and I haven't spoken in years.
So let me get this straight. You were kidnapped by the Xanathar, and then the Zentarum.
No, I
came.
was killed. We were
You're dead!
accosted by the Zentarum.
Oh, okay. So you're kidnapped by the Zentarum.
Yeah, the Kenku were working for Xanathar.
Oh, so the Xanathar has Floon now.
Yeah.
All right. Very interesting. Well, do you know where they might have taken him?
For being drunk, you're very logical.
She's pretty good at like.
You're doing well, Kara.
She's used to talking to people while she's blitzed.
She's just like,
Once she's sober, she's like, I'm gonna go nap, I guess, or get a drink.
I think the Kenku were saying something as they were leaving about taking him back to the Xanathar hideout in the sewers.
Oh good.
I'm sure if we ask around, we could probably find out where exactly they were taken.
Well, are you up for that?
Yeah, I feel awful. I think that, like I said, I think he was taken, and they thought that he was me, and I'd like to help get him back.
Very noble of you. All right, well, we should get started before I get sober. Oh, she helps him up.
Oh, good.
She helps him up.
Okay,
She
yeah,
falls
when
in
he,
the closet.
After you help him get up, he walks over to some of the dead bodies, and he gets himself a dagger and a rapier from a few of them.
Oh, cool.
So what are you guys doing?
I guess we'll,
I would like to take a breather for a moment.
yeah,
Just a short rest.
Everyone, I guess I should drink some water.
Okay.
Can we take a breather?
I'm actually gonna call session right there.
Okay.
okay.
So.